Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest over there, as you see, Troy Casey, certified health nut. Yeah, brother. So honored to have you on here.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. And we tried it earlier, but technical difficulties in the modern world. But anyways, we're on. We got connection now, and I think you wanted to do some breath work to kind of get us started, kind of clear the template, clear the brain, and so I think it's always a good time to breathe. So let's do 90 conscious breaths. We'll start out. We'll do in through the nose, out through the mouth. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. As the first one, we'll do an exhale retention. So empty all the gas out of the lungs. Hold that. And then wait for the reflex to breathe. And then hold that, right? So exhale retention, inhale retention. And here we go. Just make it simple, guys. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go. You can get your body into it. You can play with your tempo, fast or slow. The more you make a sound, the more it's going to cleanse the internal organs. Keep breathing. Flood the body with oxygen. Keep breathing full breaths. Breathe all the way out. Hold. Inhale, hold. Back to normal. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. All right, the second one we're going to do is breath of fire. We're going to pump the air in our navel. We're going to pump it up to our heart. Just breath of fire. You can turn your head so it opens up the eustachian tubes and clears your lymphatic fluid. So just pumping that diaphragm into the heart, breathing out of the nose, in the nose, out of the nose. Here we go, guys. Exhale all the way. Hold. Inhale, hold. Come back to breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Check in with the qualities, how you're feeling now compared to when you started. Did it open up some of the channels? You know, we'll do one more round.
Yes.
So I really like the effectiveness of in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you can get your spine into it as well. I did a lot of this. Going through my divorce, sleeping on my own couch, facing divorce, losing my family, freaking out, 4 a.m. in the morning, paranoid. Let's breathe, motherfuckers.
Wow.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last round. Give it all you got. Don't cheat yourself, man. All the way out. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Woo!
Woo, for real.
High on the own supply, man.
That's the truth. Can you take that over there?
That's what it's all about, man.
It is.
Clearing the channels. What a great way to start a podcast, bro.
The best way, you're right. The best way being high and free.
Yeah, we get clear, coherent on the channels.
And
I like that.
What were some of the benefits on what we just did again?
So it improves ultimately mitochondrial function, which is how efficient the cells take in information or nutrition and expel waste, detox.
Oh, wow.
And so it turns on the engines of the cells and excites them at a much higher level. Put voltage, amperage, floods the body with oxygen, prana, chi. So it can clear the head, it releases serotonin and dopamine. It alkalizes your blood. I mean, the list goes on. We just did a little bit, but you could do anything. You can even do breath work by running, right? You can do sprints. You can do any kind of high intensity. It's going to take you there. You know, running is another form of breath work. It's not popularized right now because breath work is so popularized, but let's keep it simple, right? There's nothing new under the sun. And anyhow, you know, I used to go into Gold's Gym and just pick up some weights and just breathe it through my nervous system, man. That's breath work right there. But optimizing your breathing mechanics is important because poor cellular respiration is related to premature aging. And most men and women don't want that for sure, you know, and
right.
It makes your skin look better. It gives you more energy, more vibrance. It clears the chakras, clears the energy. It helps you integrate challenging times like we're dealing right now with the nervous system. It clears the emotional body. Breath is life. That's why I did my online course about that. It saved my life when I was going through my divorce.
Wow. That's so good. That's so true. When we neglect the breath, we neglect the spirit side of us, you know. What really inspired you during those hard times? How did you really get involved in all of this?
Well, it's all in my book. I wrote a book about it, and it's I started out as a Versace model, and then I partied pretty hard in that industry, and then sobered up and started a career as an actor and got into meditation and started working with Maori healers from New Zealand, and and then years later I started working with an herbal company in the Amazon and traveling to the Amazon and working with the shamans with ayahuasca there. And so I had those three major stages of awakening: meditation, shamanism, and plant medicine.
Yes.
And so those things woke me up to a higher level of order within myself and my connection to my surroundings, and the environment and the community that I find myself in. And once you turn on to a certain level, once you awaken to a certain level, you realize that you're responsible for the sum total of everything you're experiencing. And if that's the case, and I don't like chemicals in the air, water, and soil, and it's threatening me and my family, and then I've got to do something about changing the sum total of the earth, because we're a little out of balance right now.
Yes, that's right. Wow. And your book, Ripped at 50, goes into detail of your testimony, and it explains all of that, how we're actually can come together and make an act towards this, to protect ourselves and our family and actually become overcomers.
Yeah, what I put in the book, there's nothing new underneath the sun. All knowledge is knowledge of self. And what the book is about is foundation principles, whether you're healthy or sick, man, woman, or child, old or young. Every human being needs this biologically, physiologically, and psychology to understand this. So in relationship to other people, that's one of the 9 pillars. We drink water. That's what human beings need. We need organic food. That's what human beings need. So these are foundation principles. They're first principles, as they say in physics. No one can really argue with these things. Sleep. The body needs sleep. And this is how you restore and you live life on earth. And then everybody dies. Mother Nature recycles us with microbes, parasites, fungus. And when we're done to be recycled, we go back into the soil, and then we come back into the closed organic cycle. And our spiritual life fits into there somewhere, depending on your understanding and your beliefs.
That's right. That's really good. No one can argue with the realities of the universal truth, and that's the way that we can relate. How do you actually start your morning when you wake up?
It varies from year to year, but currently right now, I wake up, I like to take a cold shower. I wake up around 6 o'clock. I like to get moving because usually I'm working a lot during coronavirus, and I'm communicating a lot online and podcasts and videos. I make like 10 videos a day. So usually I pop up, I'll do a little bit of social media. I'll start doing a little bit of business. Then I'll try and get some kind of movement or workout in, hopefully without my phone. That doesn't always happen. I'll either go for a bike ride or a walk. Gold's Gym was open for a week, and I definitely went down there, and I got like 4 pumps, the first, weightlifting I did in 3 months. And it was great. All my injuries are gone and everything. I felt great. And then boom, Governor Newsom throws a curveball and closes everything for 4th of July and leaves his winery and business in Napa open, but closes everything down here. I'm like, and I'm like, what's wrong with that? And then the schools aren't open. My kids are nature kids, man. They're out in school. They're Waldorf educated. So we're moving out of the state to go where somewhere else is open, put the kids in school and get them into nature.
Yeah, seen on your Instagram too, your children, they're always moving around more than this generation now. The kids are on their tablets and their iPads, and you're raising your children up in the way of holistic and natural, and they're very wise, and more than the rest, actually, statistically speaking, they are, because of the movement and the breathing.
Well, I definitely think so, because I'm seeing and I'm witnessing, what's out in the world, and I see a lot of dysfunction. I even see in conscious organic restaurants, parents with their kids glued into the tablets. I mean, physiologically, this is aging, right? Physiologically, this is depression.
It is.
Right? So if a child is glued to a screen, even if you're sitting in the best organic restaurant. So it's like, how conscious are we? And look, I'm on these screens myself. I'm on digital communications. That's one of the 7 factors of stress I put in my book, which people need to manage and mitigate and be aware of what's on, the horizon. And then you have to be able to work inside the systems. The phone's got me pretty much by the balls now. I got my banking, I got my social media, I got all my business making is done on the phone. My talking to clients, it's all done on the phone. So through technology, we're connected. So, my thing is always turn anything into a positive or negative, just redirect the energy. And with social media, I have to manage my addiction just like anybody else. The only thing is I'm running a global platform, which is an illusion. But most people don't realize that. They think I'm just like your average friend that you went to high school with that's posting on Instagram. Right. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but we're only healthy to the degree we're conscious, and we're only conscious to the degree we're healthy.
The simple, powerful quote probably that I've ever heard. And a lot of times, we're sleeping in our unconscious mind or in the subconscious. And I like how you use that word where physiology, or how our head's down and it's glued down, and we're saying, hey, I want gluten-free, but we're glued down with our head and our different body positions. That we end up, if we're conscious of what we're doing in those moments, we can actually wake up out of those patterns. Could you speak on that, the thoughts, how they do that to us?
Well, I think, even like children today. So if that's the case and we're all domesticated and we're all looking at iPads and data ports, iPhones and everything, what's that doing, to us as a species, as an orthopedic calamity? We just want to be aware of it. It's the same thing with the poisons that are in the foods. You talked about thinking, which is one of the pillars in my book. Yes, you want to get your mind right. You want to get your thinking right. Thinking is catabolic. If you're overthinking and obsessing with too much information, misinformation, disinformation, and you're afraid and you just need more information so you can make a decision, well, what that's going to do is that's catabolic. It's going to break the body down eventually. If you add to it, emotional trauma and things unresolved in our childhood, which is all part of our spiritual makeup, right? Oftentimes we can find ourselves trapped in our thinking. It's been said energetically, our thoughts and our emotions, create cancer in the body. They create dis-ease.
That's right.
Dis-ease in the body, and then literal dis-ease. So it's all direct. It's all related. There's no separation.
That's right. There is no separation. And that is on your book about self-care education. Without it, we perish and we crumble. We're destroying ourselves.
But we don't have it right now. And look what's happening. People aren't educated on how to take care of their human apparatus.
Right.
70% of the American people are obese or overweight. 1 in 2 will get cancer. 1 in 17 autism. So,
wow.
And everything's scientifically validated.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's safe, right? Oh, really? Is that safe? Why are we the sickest ever? People say, oh, we're living longer. Really? I don't think propped up on pharmaceutical drugs for the last 10 years in a nursing home like my grandfather was. I don't think that's living.
Right about that. And it's strange how it's scientifically proven for the world, but yet we let the media give us comfortable information for the 5 physical senses or the entertainment. Even at times you and I fall a victim of, with the cell phones, because we have work to do with it on there, or the social media. But how do you find ways of balancing that when you notice that there's a season coming upon where you put too much energy or too much attention on it, where you need balance in others?
Well, rest and relaxation is very important for me. I cured myself from autoimmune disease and black mold exposure and neurological dysfunction, chronic fatigue. It was, it was a mess. Sleep and rest. In fact, I just took a nap from our last phone call earlier. Came home, took a 20-minute nap, cold shower. These are the tools that I employ regularly, multiple times per day sometimes. And so I don't mess with my sleep, and I'll take a cat nap, if I can get one in during the week, anytime. Because rest is so important. You can't give from an empty cup. If I'm working too much, if I'm on the computers too much, it is a electromagnetic frequency and radiation. That's a stress on the human body. I have to manage and mitigate that so I can be effective out there in the world and talking to people about all the great cockamamie ideas I have, like peace on earth and clean air, water, soil, and equitable systems for all mankind. You know, I got to have my energy for that.
You're right about that. Is that polyphasic sleeping you were mentioning, how you do your naps?
No.
Okay.
No. I read about that. That you
Yeah.
got to get on that train. I'd rather just do good circadian hygiene. You know,
Good.
good sleep, good sleep hygiene. 10 p.m., 6 a.m., 20-minute nap here or there is good. Lying prone is great. You know, we're very restorative. Anything that's restorative. That's why I do so much qigong, right? I do walking and bike riding. I lift weights when I got the energy and the gym is actually open.
Wow. Yeah, I love qigong. I've been doing a study as well on a book that I'm reading called The Secrets of the Pelvis in Martial Arts, and about tucking the pelvis and qigong. What it does is the spine gets to be straightened, and there's you connect and you ground much easier, more fluently as the time goes on. You know, where your arms will start to rise on their own, and all these thoughts that we carry inside here, the thoughts of the world and the thoughts that we have in the arms, they get to be grounded, and equilibrium can happen in the chakras. You know,
That's why I'm always
that's right.
shaking stuff out.
That's it. And we're a walking water bag.
I mean, a lot of my qigong I've just figured out, you know, just by unwinding myself.
Wow.
And I've started playing with my pelvic tilt in my horse stance. Anyways, I always play with my pelvic tilt. I got hip to that from the Move You guys. Those guys are good. They're funny.
Sounds familiar. Movie. Oh yeah, I knew you talking about. I think they're brothers or something, right?
They look like friends, and they always test stuff, and they're talking about posture, and they know their stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Good stuff. Every time I see you post a new video, you look younger and wiser. So we see that it's working here. I just got the lights on me that I'm glowing. This isn't the autophagy repolishing my cells. Unless I claim it.
Yeah, man. All we can do is keep breathing, right? Keep breathing, keep showing up, keep grounding into the earth, keep forgiving, keep loving, just doing whatever you can.
That is so true, and that leads me for motivation for those that are watching. So we know that motivation comes from the outside and inspiration comes within. So when people are first starting off with their breath work, their subconscious mind programs keeps them lazy and they're not disciplined to stay consistent on there. What would you recommend for an accountability on that? Just an accountability partner, or there has to be a hunger or a burning in the heart?
However, it doesn't matter how you shake it out. I don't care how you slice it, what game you play with yourself, what kind of mental gymnastics. What I like to tell people is let's just cut the shit. Let's just start breathing. How about 10 breaths? How about turn on the cold shower, get that stuff on your spine, and just.
I love that. That's it. That's how I roll too.
and just build that fire. Just do it, as opposed to, I got to go to a yoga class. Yoga class is great. Kundalini class is great. All that stuff is great. The thing is don't make it a thing. How about 5 breaths right now? You know, how about let's do 5 breaths per minute? That's coherence, right? So can you go? That's only 1.5 breaths right there.
Right.
How many breaths can you do in a minute? What's the least amount you can do in a minute? You know, time that out. Spread the rib cage out. Like really play with your breath. There's so many different ways you can do breath work. And so the more conscious you are of it, and here's the other thing, tape your mouth shut at night and see how much of a mouth breather and a neck breather you are, because that is going to stress you out. And if you don't have breathing mechanics on lockdown, just start there. You can't sleep properly, start there. You can't lose weight, start there. You know, start with your breathing mechanics. Tape your lips shut at night. Sleep apnea and snoring. And my wife tells me I snore too. So I got my own work to do, you know?
Yeah.
But always opening up the channels, nasal breathing. James Nestor was just on Joe Rogan, and he was saying that nasal breathing is just it, man.
Yeah, I love the nasal breathing as well. That's my most simple meditations that I do the most. Just lean back against a chair or wall, anything, and I love it. But I never heard the tape the mouth shut at nighttime. That really inspired me. I like that
Yeah,
one.
watch that. Joe Rogan, James Nestor. That's a really good video.
Okay. Yeah, man. Your YouTube has grown fast, and it's of course underrated for where it's at, for the wisdom and all the stuff that you're putting on. You're putting on a lot of great information, all out for free, and just by watching your videos, and they're life changing.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate everyone out there that supports my work and is tuned in. And you know, I'm just a guy out here having fun and looking to, you know, change his local environment and raise the consciousness around me and raise the vibrations of myself and my family and my community. And that's all I'm here to do. And I just keep showing up. I don't always, you know, I don't always I fail a lot, right? I'm learning to fail my way to success.
That's right. That's right. That's a good way to see it. I love that. Yeah, you have such unconditional love, is what I call it, for those goals that you have, that mission. You know, you're aligned, your life purpose. You know your life purpose, and you're doing it effortlessly.
First chapter of my book, guys, especially women. You know, they're the natural nurturers and mothers of the world. You know, if you have children, just let that be your number one job.
That's right.
Because the children need you right now. They need you to feed good food. What happened to the food supply? The GMOs and the herbicides and the chemicals and everything. Who's feeding the children now? So, mom, get back to that's your known legacy. You know, the CIA worked with Gloria Steinem to get feminism on the boards because they wanted two people out of the family to pay into this tax structure, and that's exactly what's happening. My mother didn't start working till 1979, right? And the Burn Your Bra feminist movement started in 1973. So by the 80s, everybody was working. Who was taking care of the kids? Who's watching the food? What happened to the food through the 80s and the 90s up until now, when we have childhood obesity and 70% Americans are overweight or obese. So this is a big deal. We got a big responsibility. Men need purpose when they wake up in the morning. Not that women can't go out and manifest destiny and do whatever they see fit. Please do. But the fact of the matter is, I played Mr. Mom. I understand it very well. I understand it hormonally. I got no respect. And the children wanted to be with the mom every time she came home anyways. So, and I did a good job, but I got no respect from my woman. And hormonally, it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody just stays in their lane as best they can. Hey, I can switch lanes. I played Mr. Mom for 5, 6, 7 years in a row. I still play Mr. Mom. I try and spend as much time with my kids as possible. But man needs purpose, is what I'm saying. When you get out of bed, otherwise man will go in circles, and anywhere will do. And if you've just been trained in the industrial age school system and programmed by all the media you've been watching for the last 40,000 hours, just up to 12th grade, then you're going to be programmed to be paper chasing that is not in alignment with what your soul's purpose came to do here. And eventually you're going to start using drugs or drinking or kicking the dog or pornography or whatever your little self-sabotage addiction is, just to make yourself comfortable and get along. What is it? Go along to get along, you know, and just cope. Those are your coping mechanisms. My coping mechanism is fuck all that shit. Let me face my deepest, darkest everything and just keep riding that wave until I'm dead. How about that? Let me just overcome all whatever is in my way, or die trying. How about that? Just like, that's my Mount Everest. That's my Wright brothers wanting to fly like an eagle. You know, theory of relativity with Einstein. You know, that's my swan song. You know, let me just live to the fullest.
That is it. I got a tattoo on my stomach that says "fuck excuses," and I just go straight to it no matter what. I know I have all these programs like we all do in our subconscious, and the world is reflecting it right back to us of who we are on a moment to moment basis. And all we can do is live a happier life by choosing to smile now and breathe, just breathing. You know.
Right. And man, I give my kids, I ride them hard, man. Excuses for what?
Yep.
Show up with excellence. There's no excuse. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Take responsibility for it. But there's no excuse. Don't just get reams of. And don't get me wrong, I got piles of excuses too. Right? I'm a complainer, blamer. I had to catch myself doing that. You know, I put a lot of gratitude journal stuff in my book because that also really helped me. You know, when you find yourself blaming Donald Trump and the world and all this other stuff and complaining about the economy or life, wow, just look no further than your own life.
That's it.
You know, be grateful for the small stuff. Look at that water I just drank. My daughter brought me. It's a loving child coming out. I have organic cotton T-shirts and a beautiful, clean home, and I'm stable. I don't have bombs going off in my living room. So, hey, I'm just grateful for everything.
And I'm at the beach in my imagination, you know.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. And this man over here just keeps on sipping.
Sweet. I probably have a background for you. Hold on. There you go, baby.
Yeah, I love that one. Look at that.
Look at that. All right. Look at that, dude. That's awesome.
It is. That's amazing. Look at that. That's wild.
Woo!
That's the truth. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the truth. That is the divinity code for the human being.
We look at you and say, hey, if he can do it, you know, we can do it because he is us.
Yeah. Well, we are the sum total of the all of us at all times at any given moment. So we just have to tap into our own divinity, claim what's our birthright, which is what our hearts desire, get clear on what the heart desires, clear up the body temple so that you can channel the divine through you, and you're guided through your next move, through your intuition, your primal instincts, and you know which way to move. We're moving to Sedona, Arizona in a couple of weeks, and you know, I studied the Mayan calendar and bought land in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and thought I was going to move. And then I was like, well, when do we move? There are going to be earthquakes in California. I don't know how everything's going to roll out, but I always knew I'd just be guided. We went out to Sedona about a month ago. I've been there many, many times. My dad lives out there and everything. And my wife looked at some stuff. The school was open, and we're just moving there. I'm not going to move a box. There's a lot of boxes in my house. But I've moved so many times, it's so stressful. I don't move boxes anymore.
Oh no, right? You done paid your dues on it. You done did it too much.
I paid my dues, for sure. For sure. I realize now at 54, my time is extremely valuable, and if I can pay someone else to do it, and it frees up my energy, I'd rather be creative and creating things like Ripped at 50 and Certified Health Nut videos.
Wow. That's really smart. The wisdom that you have. Also, I have a really good question as well. Could you speak about tension and relaxation in any way that you would like?
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the breath work that I do is creating a lot of tension in the body. It's neurological excitation, musculoskeletal excitation. It's like a forced panic attack. So once you're done with that, when you get out of that, everything else is gravy. Now, some people are wired different. That might give people anxiety as opposed to help with their anxiety like it helped me. So everyone's different. That's why in my Breath is Life course, I show you how to reprogram the breathing mechanics using the stork walk, the animal walk that opens the diaphragm, harmonizes the right and the left legs and all the neurology that goes up with your survival mechanisms, so that your diaphragm is opening optimally. Then you go into the awareness of your belly button and how you're breathing, and your nose, nasal breathing, neck breathing, and how to catch yourself. And so awareness is the first step. And then you start different exercises. You can do the thumb, 5 breaths in, exhale, 5 breaths out, then switch. You basically just make it up. Any kind of breathing exercise you want, fast or slow, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through one nostril. I mean, you could just literally make it up. We were doing these things that was a inhale through the mouth, and a sneeze. It was the weirdest thing. And my other friend does this one where you're like basically like a bioenergetics, like, no, mommy, daddy, no. And you're just like,
wow.
And so that's a good one. I like that one. That one's for anger.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for anger. I know it's opening up the lungs, expanding them as well up here. Is it true that when you're breathing on one side of the nose, you're orchestrating the other side of the brain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
right and left. Yeah. That's another thing that the breath work can do, is harmonize the right and left hemisphere of the brain. Definitely the Qigong does that.
Oh wow.
The movements, because you've got you're moving.
Oh yeah, keeping it moving for
both sides.
The brain won't get bored. That's the longevity of life. The movement.
You gotta be active. Yes.
That's
movement is life. Energy and motion. Emotion.
Tell you what, you're a humble man, and that's amazing to have. Especially at your age and everything. Such a humble man. I believe that's how you got to where you are today.
Well, Nico, it's funny you call me a humble man. I got a whole bunch of haters and clout chasers calling me a fucking narcissist on my social media channel. So, hey, thanks, man. Look, I like to be as humble as possible.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy is like, do no harm. I rebel rouse and fuck with people's idea of what they think they know and stuff. A little coyote medicine here. But, for the most part, it's do no harm, but take no shit. And as soon as you start taking shit, and I've been on the internet for years. YouTube was worse than Instagram ever was, like in the beginning with all the keyboard warriors. My point is I've been dealing with, haters for a very long time, and sharing this very holistic information. You got to have some tough skin.
That's right.
People put me down on all sorts of realms and their ideas, and so I've learned to just understand that no different from a compliment. Thanks for sharing.
That's right. That's good to look at it like that. Just smiling and keeping it neutral. It's not affecting you.
Well, I mean, how's your philosophy working out for you? You want to hate me because you think I am a political affiliation to you, or because the race baiting is going on, and then you want to pick on me? And people are full of illusions.
That's right.
My shaman in the forest, the great gringo tour, Scott used to say, people are illusions.
That's so true. Oh man, man. I tell you what, that's I love this, man, and tell people how to get a hold of you as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to find. Hashtag 50 Troy Casey, certified health nut YouTube, certified health nut. Instagram's where I'm most active right now, and I'm running for president of Planet Earth in 2020. So hashtag President of Planet Earth 2020 or Pope 2020. And so, I'm just here to get the world healthy in a holistic, natural way. I'm clarion call back to nature, back to God. The ultimate realization is you are the sum total of the all, or God, right? And the world's an abundant place, and heaven on earth is here. We just have to realize it. It's up to us to create peace on earth, not waiting for it to happen on the mainstream media, or wait for the government to cure the coronavirus, or I'm not waiting for anything. I'm living what's right behind me, the Divinity Code, and my journey here on planet Earth.
Look at that. Unbelievable. That I was you really inspired me when you were riding your bike and you said, and we're gonna do the podcast while you're riding your bicycle. I was just like, man, he's a go-getter, he's a doer. He's a health nut, you know, the certified health nut. You know, getting them.
Well, I've learned to say yes, and especially times like this, and building my business, and things are going really well with the book. All my videos, everything I'm doing on social media is exploding right now. So I just say yes to as much stuff as possible. Sometimes that overwhelms me and overbook stuff, but if I'm out, man, you know, we didn't have the connection on my bicycle, so I just came home, did it here. You know, I'm very intent on sharing life affirmative messages with the world as everything is crumbling around us.
That's so good. You did do that. I respected you even more than I already did. You got my vote for the president, my love.